Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, directed by Guillermo del Toro. And also Mark Gustafson, who you may know as the animation director from Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is a fantastic movie, and also from the PJs, which I love, and you should go watch that. This is a retelling of the Italian novel, The Adventures of Pinocchio. Also, I'm sure you're more aware of the Disney movie, maybe. I could see people having not read the novel, but you've probably seen at least the Disney movie. I will say that the two things are, like most classic Disney movies, drastically different from each other. And this is actually also pretty drastically different from the original novel, because the novel came out in 1883. And this movie deals with Mussolini's rise in Italy, which happened a lot later in 1918 to 1939. It happened in the interwar period. So over that course of about 20 years between World War I and World War II, Mussolini rose to power in Italy and installed a fascist regime throughout the country. We probably all are aware of this, and the movie does, while still maintaining its kid-friendly-ish themes, it does delve pretty deeply into what that means. And it's a great movie. It's a great retelling of both the original Pinocchio story, but it also incorporates this real history into the movie in a way that is incredibly well done and not so hand-holdy that it's babyfied for, like, you know, little babies, but also not so realistically that it's like a war movie, you know, being marketed at children. I think there is a common ground to hit, and actually my favorite kind of kids movie is like this, where it hits that ground. You can show this to a child and it's still a great movie. They may not get everything, but they'll enjoy the movie. It is a fun movie. The stop motion is incredibly beautiful work. Mark Gustafson, the co-director and the guy in charge of the animation here, is absolutely fantastic. If you've seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, I'm sure you understand how incredible his work is. And again, if you haven't seen it, watch the PJs. It's a great show. I know it only ran for like 2 or 3 seasons. It's a fantastic show. Go watch it. Wonderful stuff. But he is the animation... he's an animation director for that as well. Again, stop motion, claymation type. Fantastic stuff. He's doing great work, and this will keep a child entertained while they watch this movie. But for the adults, it does have the much deeper themes that you want to see in a movie. And this is my favorite kind of kids movie. It works both for children and for adults. It's the kind of movie that you can watch, you know, at 5, 6, 7 years old, and you get the general idea, you know, sadness, you know, people die, sadness, that kind of stuff, friendship, acceptance. You get these, as a child, I think you can understand these themes, and then as you grow up and you see the movie again, you can see the themes of the horrors of war and fascism and everything else that comes with this movie. This is a perfect movie, in my opinion. This is probably Del Toro's best movie. I know he's made a lot of great stuff. People really love Pan's Labyrinth, Kronos, The Devil's Backbone, The Shape of Water, even like more, I will say, Hollywoody, comic booky stuff like Hellboy 1 and 2 and Pacific Rim. People love those movies. And don't get me wrong, I love those movies too, for the most part. The ones I've seen. I've not seen Kronos or The Devil's Backbone. I do know they're highly regarded. I do own them, or get there at some point. Working my way there. I bought pretty much all of his movies. I think I'm missing a couple I gotta work on, but I bought most of his stuff. And this was just the first one I watched because I've been waiting to watch this for a very long time. I've wanted to pick it up when I first saw it was released by Criterion Collection. I really didn't want to watch it on Netflix. I was waiting for a physical release, hoping it would get one, and when it did, I've been just waiting to pick it up since, and I finally got a copy. 4K, beautiful, beautiful work. I always suggest watching a movie any way you can, but preferably pick up the physical copy. I just support the media you want to see. In this case, If you have to watch on Netflix, do so, but honestly, pick up the 4K. It is a beautiful movie that deserves to be watched in the best way possible. You're doing yourself a favor by picking up the highest quality version that you can personally watch. I understand if you don't have a 4K player or a PS5 that you can't necessarily watch a 4K movie. That's fine. I'm sure you have a Blu-ray player or something that can play Blu-rays, like a PlayStation 3 or 4 or an Xbox One or a Series X, I think. There's a lot of ways to play Blu-rays at this point. You probably have something. At the very least, watch the Blu-ray. It is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. The movie is way too gorgeous to be watched on a shitty streaming site. It does absolutely deserve better. Usually, I just, I want you to pick up the physical copy, but, watch it however you can. In this case, pick up the physical copy. The movie deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. This is one of his best movies, if not his best movie. This is by far my favorite that I've seen from him. I love Pan's Labyrinth. I love the Hellboy movie, but this is a step above, I think, both of them. I will say I have not seen Kronos. I have not seen Devil's Backbone. I have not seen Shape of Water. I do own them. I've recently purchased them, but I have not watched them. Maybe one of those is better. I don't know. But I think it's going to be pretty hard to top. Now, part of that is just that I really like Pinocchio. I think Pinocchio is a very fun story. I think it is a very cute movie in general, and this is just a better retelling of it than like the Disney movie. But also the anti-fascist themes throughout the movie, the mockery that they make of Mussolini, and the way they show the relationship between Candlewick and his father is incredible. Also, I really love the stuff with death, as the Sphinx, the idea that Pinocchio can't die, but every time he does, he stays longer and longer in this death, and then eventually having to break out of the death to save Geppetto is amazing. Sorry, that may just spoil the ending for you, but it is incredible work. It is a fantastic movie. I cannot recommend this enough. This is easily in my top 5 movies that I've watched this year, and this is a year that includes me watching more just widely beloved movies than I think I ever have in a single year. Typically, my movie watching experience is what you see on this channel, but a little less, and I rewatch movies quite a bit. But over this year, I've made it a point to try to watch more of the highly acclaimed movies that I haven't seen. Things like Mahala Drive and Blue Velvet. I'm working on watching Parasite. The Janine Dialman movie is often regarded as one of the best ever made, and I've put in an effort to watch some of these movies more so in this last year. And even with all of that, I still think Pinocchio might be one of my favorite movies that I've seen so far this year. Absolutely incredible. Do yourself the favor and go watch it if you haven't already. I know it's been out for a couple of years now. Sometimes it's hard to get a number to watch movies. I should have watched this 3 years ago. And now I'm kind of sad that I didn't, because this is fantastic. Everyone should watch this movie. Forget the Disney one. Fuck that movie. This is the Pinocchio movie you need to see. The live action remake that they did, get it out of here. No one cares about that shit. This is the one you need to watch. This is a truly fantastic movie. Thanks for watching. I do just really like this movie. Rest in peace to Mark Gustafsson, who passed away about a year ago, this being his final film. Incredible work. Incredible work to end your career on. Also, go watch PJs. That's a great show.
Once upon a time in the projects.
Low rent, high rise, y'all. Yeah. Holding down a cardboard condo. Homeboy in a homemade bungalow.